Hello, everyone. My name is DISHAYNA Perkins, editor-in-chief and host of Kentucky Good Vibes Magazine. And today I have the pleasure of interviewing the legendary Miss Shirley Murdock. How are you today?
Hey, I'm good. How about you?
I'm pretty good. So tell us what you've been up to.
Wow, lots of stuff. This pandemic has been rough for everybody. So, but it was an opportunity for everybody to hit reset and do a lot of those things that you said you never had time to do. But my husband and I, we co-write. He's my producer, so we've been in the studio writing songs and recording songs, and also we're part of an online ministry called Praying for You Ministry. So we've been ministering online, just using technology to stay connected to the people.
Okay. So I have the first question, and that is, who is Miss Shirley Murdock?
Well, Miss Shirley Murdock is a young lady who grew up in Toledo, Ohio, who recognized at a very early age that she had this wonderful gift from God, and that was this ability to sing. And as I was a young girl watching black and white Saturday matinee with a little curly haired white girl by the name of Shirley Temple, who could sing and dance, on a good ship lollipop. You probably was way too old for you. But but that was kind of, I saw myself, that was like the glimpse of myself in the future. That was the beginning of the dream. And so I had this passion to be a singer. And as I grew up and gave my life to the Lord and started growing in my relationship with God, I thought that gospel music would be the avenue. But those doors never opened for me. But I continued to sing, like in my church and weddings and funerals and wherever I had an opportunity to sing. I even left Toledo and moved to Columbus for a little while to minister with a crusade team that went all over the country and did revivals, weeks at a time. And then I got laid off from that and came back to get my job at Osterman Jewelers. But in the interim, Roger Troutman from the group Zap heard me singing on a tape and asked, was I interested in making records? And I told him, no, thank you, because I want to do gospel. But, after much prayer, I just walked through the open door, walked through the door that God opened for me. I walked by faith through that door, and the rest is history.
Okay, so you've been from record to tape to CD to now all major platforms online.
That
Seen it all.
Cassettes.
Yeah, exactly. So how has
streaming?
Oh yeah, that too. How's that been over the years?
Yes.
How's that experience been over the years? Just
it's
the transition of different
platforms. Yeah, it's been an amazing journey, to watch how the things change. I remember when I first recorded, we recorded on a 2-inch reels. These great big reels, and then it went from that to DAT, to, oh my gosh, and the records came out in cassettes, and then CDs came out, and so it's just still being around to still have my songs on all of those platforms is amazing. I still have people come up today, and I might sign a album cover where they still have the vinyl. So it's amazing to still be around to witness how technology has changed over all these years.
Okay, so what would you say your personality was like growing up? Were you the shy and quiet type? Were you the loud and wild, or what kind of kid were you?
Well, I think since I was a middle girl, okay, my elder sister was a little reserved, and my middle sister was like the wild child. And I think I kind of got the balance, kind of the best of both worlds between them. One thing about my middle sister, Anne, she was one that wanted to be a singer, and she would go out and sing in clubs and things like that. And she would go out and bring she was the one that brought all the new music and the new dances and things like that. And so I could dance and sing. And so, yeah, so I'm kind of a blend between both sisters, being the baby girl. I have my shy moments, but I think but when I'm doing what God has called me to do, when I'm going forth in that gift, I'm not shy at all. But I'm nervous right before. A lot of people may not realize that I get butterflies. I call them vampire bats. I get nervous. I get that nervous anxiety before, but I just pray and I never want to lose that feeling of anxiousness, because I never want to feel like I'm going out there on my own juice. I always pray and ask God to touch that gift so that the people can be blessed.
Okay, so who were your musical influences growing up?
Oh, Okay, my main one was Aretha Franklin.
Okay.
Okay, and a lot of the artists out of Motown, because like I said, I grew up in Toledo and Motown was Detroit, and you know about Detroit because you got family in Detroit. And I grew up in the time of the Jackson Five, so there were young kids, being famous, and Stevie Wonder, and I love Gladys Knight. And the thing that really struck me about the late great Queen of Soul, Aretha Franklin, is that not only was she just this wonderful soulful singer, but she never forgot where she came from. And I remember that Amazing Grace album because I was singing in my church choir during that time, and I sang a lot of the songs from by her. And also when I was younger, I thought I was Aretha girl. I'd be in front of the mirror with a hairbrush thinking that was my microphone, and I would throw my head back and sing Dr. Feel Good, baby. And I remember my mom saying, because I was real young, I was probably about 9 years old. She said, baby, look, I know you don't know what you're singing about, but you sound like you do. So why don't you just leave that alone until you get grown? But Aretha just always continued to be somebody, that I looked up to. Aretha, Gladys, Patti LaBelle, Stevie Wonder, all these people, they were really my teachers because I gleaned from them. I was never trained as a singer. God gave me this gift, and I honed my skills by listening to people who were doing what it is that I wanted to do.
Exactly. Okay, so you have a birthday coming up May 22nd?
I do.
So do you have any big plans?
Not as of yet. I'm kind of like taking it a little bit at a time, because it really has a lot to do with whether or not, it's dealing with COVID, that we can all come outside and play. If we can stop the spread, then we'll have more opportunities to make plans, whether it might be a concert or going out to dinner with family, things like that. But right now, we've been just for the past year, just been trying to use wisdom, play it safe, wear our masks, and use our social distancing. I haven't seen many of my family members in a year, but we talk all the time, and thank God for thanks to modern technology, for computer love, that we can all come together and see each other like you and I are doing now, streaming. There's Zoom, and there's all kind of ways for us to stay in touch. There's FaceTime, depending on what type of phone you have. So, but so I'm not making too many plans that far in advance because it really has a lot to do whether or not, if I feel safe to get on airplanes. Right now, honey, I'm a homebody.
Yeah, a lot of people are still like saying, I'll wait. Like some people got the shot, some people don't got it. And
yeah. And I don't want to be a person that would cause somebody to get sick, in this time when people are not, since the spread has not been stopped, has not been stopped. I don't want to have a concert and have people come in masses and get ill. I was blessed to get the shot. I take my second one Friday. And I just want to admonish everybody, to not be afraid. Don't let the fear factor be the thing to stop you. I know as Black people, we have some trepidation with our history, with vaccines and things like that. But you got to remember, we've all been praying and praying and praying for an answer. So when God sends the answer, you don't want to miss it because of fear. He blessed all these brilliant scientists, to come together, and come together on purpose with purpose. Now we got 3 vaccines. And so, if you're that person, you're using the EpiPen and you've got allergies and things like that, you really have to be careful, of course. But if everybody can just do what they can to stop the spread, then we can all get life back as normally as we can.
Okay. So outside of music, was there ever like anything else that you wanted to do?
Yeah. I wanted to be a fashion designer when I was growing up, because I love to draw. When I was in grade school, we have a really wonderful museum of art in Toledo. It's one of the best in the country, one of the top 10 in the country. And so a lot of the professors came around to the elementary schools and looked at our artwork and saw that, many of us had potential. So I was selected to go to Saturday classes at the Museum of Art and study, we did sculpting, we use all kind of medium like, oil painting, watercolor, acrylics and things like that. And so it was a lot of fun. And so I've always loved art. But I also like to draw. Now, my favorite thing to draw was always people. So, and I love clothes and fashion. So I can't sew worth do why diddy, but I could draw it. I could put the idea down. But yeah, I thought about that was something. But it has helped me even in my career today because I know what I like. I know what fits on my body type, you know. And I've always liked hair and makeup and a lot of those things. You know, I came up in the music business in the Chitlin circuit, you know, where you didn't have a glam squad. So I learned how to do a lot of these things myself, you know. So it's good to be able to self-maintenance, you know. It's good, you know, when you get an opportunity to do that, when you have a photo shoot and the record company sends somebody. But even with that, I glean from the makeup artist. I just glean every opportunity I get, you know. And so, like I said, wanting to be Shirley Temple, I also want to be an actor. Okay. So, but those doors open because the singing opened the door for the acting. Because you know, when my let's say in the mid 80s, early 90s, a lot of the urban plays, you know, would invite mainstream singers to come and do cameo appearances, and that would help bring the people into the theater. And so that was, I saw that was God was opening that door to make that dream come true. And I said, well, I'm not an actor, but I will be if I watch and I glean. And I went from being, you know, cameo appearance, being Auntie Thelma, Auntie somebody, this and that, to actually carrying lead roles. And it's put me on stage with people that I watched on the big screen or on television, like Malik Yoba or Clifton Powell or Jack A. Harry, you know, and Robin Givens or Billy D. Williams. So one door opened the door for the other. So I'm in the midst of that dream as well. So those plays turned into film. And I just did a film not too long ago called The Matchmaker that's going to come out on Netflix very soon. So those doors open. So I'm it's been a wonderful journey so far.
Okay, so you said The Matchmaker, is that something that you have a big part in, or is it like
I play the lead role. I play the matchmaker. I play the matchmaker. It's really about a family, you know, and my son is a very famous football player, and I don't want to give too much away, but you know, he comes home and brings home a fiance that we don't know anything about. But in the meantime, I invite his old girlfriend. So, you know, let the drama begin.
Sounds like my brother. No, okay, so you've collaborated with some top legendary icons over the years. Can you tell us how that experience was, and just to name a few experiences where you've worked with like Zapp and Roger? And
Absolutely, yeah. I worked with Roger Troutman actually discovered me, and when we were making my record, I was signed to Elektra Records. He asked me to move to Dayton so that we could make Dayton, Ohio, so that we can make the record, because you know I grew up singing in church and it's freestyle, you know. But he said, I need you to come to Dayton so I could teach you how to sing in the studio, how to sing on records in the pocket. You know, the pocket is that beat, is that you can do all your stuff, but you got to do it between the foot and the snare. And so he taught me so much. I used to go to the studio even when I didn't have a session, just to watch the genius at work. And so working with Roger and the guys in the group Zapp, I actually met my husband, who was one of the producers at Troutman Enterprises, and a keyboard player and music director for Roger Troutman and Zapp. And so, you know, I co-wrote Computer Love with Roger, and Charlie Wilson came on there. Uncle Charlie put those vocals, those vocals on there. And so I've also worked with H-Town. Roger produced the music for the movie A Thin Line Between Love and Hate, the Martin Lawrence movie. And so the title cut was A Thin Line Between Love and Hate. And H-Town, that group they sang the song, and I had an opportunity to sing with them. And then, you know, from there, you know, I became like Mama Shirley to them, you know. Okay. And if they were cutting up, I'd get after them, or they telling each other, Mama, make Dino stop doing this, boy. So I find myself in that position a lot with a lot of the younger artists, either Auntie Shirley or Mama Shirley. And so, and then, you know, I didn't work directly with Curtis Mayfield, but Roger produced Curtis Mayfield's last CD called New World Order. And there's a song on there called, it was Love That We Needed. And I sang the background vocals on that, which is, which is amazing, because of the new song now is a Curtis Mayfield song. But we'll talk about that whenever you're ready. And I also collaborated with Ben Tankard. He's a wonderful keyboard player. Oh my God. This particular record was called the Piano Prophet. And we redid Jesus is Love, you know, which was the Lionel Richie Commodore's song. And it was really very emotional for me when we did it, because it brought me back. Because, you know, by that time I did that, Roger had already passed away, but it reminded me of how I first met Roger in the first place. So it was very, very emotional, you know, and that song really stayed on the radio for a long time. And I was blessed to get a gold album on the Wild Gospel Project because of that. And so I toured with Luther Vandross on my very first major tour was with Luther. And oh my God, just every night, those velvet vocals. And he was really, really good to me. He became a good friend. And, you know, and he always, whenever he was anywhere, like in my vicinity, I'd go see him. And he would always make sure that I could get back and say hello. So it's been a wonderful journey. And then my last gospel project, I collaborated with some of my good girlfriends in the music industry, with Kelly Price and Regina Bell and Beverly Crawford. They're featured on my live CD entitled The Journey.
Okay. So I can't let the interview go by without you singing a snippet of the Computer Love.
Oh, okay. You know, I've been searching for someone who can share that special love with me. And your eyes have that glow. Could it be a face I've seen on my computer screen?
Yeah, we grew up, everybody was doing beats and stuff. And
oh, yeah.
That song will never get old.
And they're doing it on TikTok and everything. It's amazing. But, you know, we had no idea then just what a major impact it would have for generations to come. That song is at least 35 years old, because As We Lay just celebrated 35 years just last month. And Computer Love came out before that. And so for our music to still live, you know, somebody asked me in an interview the other day, how did I feel about people sampling the music? And I'm like, hey, what it is, it gives our music a chance to live again and to last for generations and generations to come. People may not know about Shirley Murdock or Roger Troutman and Zapp, but they know about Neo. They know about Usher. You know, they know about Tupac. They know about Biggie. They know about Justin Bieber. And these are just a few to name, you know, that has sampled Computer Love. And so Computer Love had a baby. And then that baby had some babies. So Computer Love had lots of grandkids.
Exactly. Yeah, because I know a lot of people has tried to remake the song, you know, or use the beat for their music and stuff, but it'll never be the same, because
there's only one Roger. There's only one Roger Troutman.
Exactly.
But you know, but it's really a compliment. You know, it's an honor that they would think that much of it to want to include it in what they do. So I really look at it as a positive thing.
Exactly. So looking back from when you first got started in the industry, do you feel that the internet has impacted the music business?
Absolutely. It's changed the game. It really has. And I think in a way for the better in a lot of ways, because, you know, young people today they don't even have to depend on getting a record deal. Honey, you can do that thing independently. You can put it out yourself. There's streaming, there's YouTube, there's all kind of avenues to get your product out there. There's also all kind of avenues to learn about the business, because you got the World Wide Web. And if you don't know what it is, just get Googleicious and Google whatever it is whatever question you want asked, because somebody has asked it before. And so it's amazing. So you know, so like right now, like my you know, I'm utilizing it. I have to shift. You know, they say you can't teach the old dog new tricks, but if the old dog don't learn, old dog gonna be left behind. So you have to learn how to use, you know, the modern technology. Yeah. So we have to learn how to use all that to enhance what it is that we're trying to do. And so, yes, it has absolutely changed. Radio has changed. You know, I remember coming up in a time where, say, back in the olden days, when the DJs decided, you know, had a really big influence on what records were played. There was a thing that they did called Make It or Break It. If there was a new record coming on, they would play it. and let you say, if you like it, you say make it. If not, you say break it. And so those were opportunities for artists, new artists, to get their records broke, you know, and get in rotation. But now you've got somebody sitting in the office who may not even, well, who definitely not a part of your community, deciding on what your community should hear. And so I think that's a downfall when they took that power away from the radio personalities who were a part of the community, who know the community. So a lot of those things have changed. So some changes are for good and some things are not, but we just you can't have the good without the bad. You got to take the bitter with the sweet.
Okay. So what's an interesting fact that we may not know about you that Google hasn't already shared?
Let me think. Okay.
Google
I have,
what's
yeah,
in fact about?
I love Hallmark movies.
Me too.
Okay. I love them. I can sit there all Saturday and just back to back Hallmark movies.
Mm-hmm.
And I think because basically I'm really a romantic, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So I like Hallmark movies. And my husband and son go, is she watching that again? But because they love me, every now and then they'll sit down, they'll watch it with me. But really, I really like Hallmark movies. So that's my little special getaway.
Okay, so many as well as myself are interested in the story behind your 1986 hit single, As We Lay. So, I mean, that's a powerful song. Tell us the story behind that, because
what you want to know? No.
People can relate to that song now and back
Okay.
then. And,
okay.
You know.
Okay. Well, here's the skinny. Okay. Someone asked me in an interview just yesterday, you know, what made me write the song? I said, well, I did not write the song. I didn't write the song, and I was also not the first person to sing the song.
Really?
The song was written by Larry Troutman and Billy Beck from the Ohio Players.
Mm-hmm.
And it was the first person to sing it was Billy Beck. So it was sung from a man's point of view. And so for me, you know, there are a lot of great songs that just never really make it into the ears of the people. So everybody in our camp, you know, thought that it was a hit song. It was going to be a hit song for the human body, which was the name of that group. And that was Billy Beck from the Ohio Players, Ray Davis from P-Funk. Everybody's familiar with that bow, wow, wow, yippee, yo, yippee, yay from P-Funk, from Atomic Dog. Yeah. That's Ray Davis. And Larry Hatcher, who was a horn player for Parliament. Mm-hmm. And so we all thought it was going to be a hit record, but unfortunately it didn't get into the ears of the people. So while we're making my record, Roger and Larry thought that it should be a song that should go on my album. And I'm like, Look, I'm straight out of church. I'm a Christian, you know what I mean? And I'm going to sing about somebody. What? And I said, I know it's a hit record. I said, but listen, the only way I can sing this song, because it's just the problem that I had with the song, it seemed like nobody was sorry. There were no consequences. Mm-hmm. Like they were just doing their thing. And as we lay. I said, if I'm going to sing the song, I need to add these lyrics. Mm-hmm. And what I added was, we should have counted up the cost, but instead we got lost in the second, in the minute, and the hour. Mm-hmm. And the reason why I wanted to include that is because before you lay, you need to pray. Because there's consequences attached to the decisions that you make. And it's not just about you. We affect everybody in our orbit, you know, everybody in our solar system of our life, you know. So in that story, you know, she said, I would never want to hurt her. She would never understand. You belong to me for just one night. Well, that just one night could break up a marriage. Yeah. If that marriage is broken up, that's going to affect, see, you know, as a girl, as females, you know, we are affected by our fathers. Mm-hmm. Whether our father is present or whether our father is absent, it affects girls. And say, for instance, if your parents are in a volatile relationship and mama puts up with him beating her upside her head, you know, either one or two things are going to happen. Either the young lady's going to say, ain't nobody going to never do that to me. Mm-hmm. Or the young lady going to grow up thinking that that's what love is like. Mm-hmm. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. And so, and then young men, if they see their father running out on their mama, they'll think that that's the way you're supposed to do it. Mm-hmm. So we have to be mindful that our children are watching and they're going to emulate what we do. So the bottom line is, I wasn't going to sing the song unless I could add those lyrics. And so, because it was not for me, it was never supposed to be a celebratory song about infidelity. Mm-hmm. It was supposed to be a sad song about regret and consequences and choices.
Okay. So what's next for Miss Shirley Murdock?
Well, we're working on a new project that we're the working title is called Life Songs, because when you really think about my my catalog of music, it's always been about life, whether it was As We Lay Husband, Going Without You, Computer Love, In Your Eyes, I Love Me Better Than That, Than to Lay Here and Cry, Than to Stay Here and Die. I think about real life issues, things that people are going through, because I believe that music has the power to enhance our lives no matter where you are. So I think that our lyrics need to reflect that. I think we need songs that are romantic, songs that remind us why we fell in love in the first place, and or remind us what it was like when it was new. I grew up to romantic songs like Bet You By Golly, Wow, You're the One I've Been Waiting For Forever, and there's a spark of magic, really, really romantic lyrics that would paint a picture in your mind. So for me, I don't want to be like locked into one genre, where either your gospel or your R&B or your jazz or your country. I want to start a whole nother genre and just call it life songs. And life songs just be a buffet. Just like going to a buffet. If you don't like green beans, baby, move down to the broccoli. If you don't like broccoli, you can go to asparagus. So if you're vegan, we got some veggies. If you don't like steak, you can get some pork chops if you eat pork. So my thing is, I want to have a project that would have love songs, that would have inspirational songs, that would have worship songs, because we love God, and I don't think that we should separate our spiritual life from our natural life. I think we have to bring it all into oneness. And I think too, there should be some. I come from a funk background too. It needs to be a little funk on that thing. So but the first song that's coming out, or that has come out, is a song called People Get Ready. Okay. And my husband and I, it was inspired because of everything that was happening in 2020, the pandemic and the social unrest and all the vitriol that was in the atmosphere. And we wanted to find a song that would make a deposit of hope and health and help and unity in the atmosphere. And so we came up in a time where the music spoke to whatever was going on in society. So we found that beautiful song by Curtis Mayfield and the Impressions, People Get Ready. And get ready means that you're expecting something. So we've been praying and praying for change. We've been praying for a cure for COVID, and people have been praying for all kinds of things. People have lost, so there's been so much loss of life because of COVID. And so but when you pray, you got to pray in faith, believing that thing gonna happen. Okay. And for example, if a mother is expecting a baby, the mother starts getting that nursery ready. She starts preparing. So People Get Ready is a song that says there's a train coming, but we also added that there's a change coming. So you don't need no ticket. All you got to do is get on board. So get ready, get ready, get ready. This change is coming. Hang on to your hope, hang on to your faith. Things will get better. And we're gonna be in this. We're in this thing together, and let's stick together, and let's make this thing make this world a better place. Let's do what we need to do to eradicate COVID, because we all want to come back outside and play.
Exactly. I know a lot of people's anticipating the wait.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so before we wrap up, because I guess I'm running out of time on this end, can you sing one more song with us? And then the last question that I have outside of you singing, hopefully, is where can we find your music? How can you be booked in the future and so forth?
Okay, well, let's do this first. You can find my music on all of the digital outlets.
Yes, ma'am.
And I'm on Instagram at Shirley Murdock, the number 4, REAL. That's Shirley Murdock for real. I'm on Twitter at Shirley Murdock, and I have a Facebook page as well. I also have a new YouTube channel, and I'm putting more and more content on that. So I'd appreciate if y'all check that out and like it and subscribe. Okay. But so for the song, you left, my world came to an end. Then you came back again. Now I know there is no way I can go on without you.
Thank you. Beautiful. I love it. Thank you so much for interviewing with me.
Oh, you're very welcome. Thank you for having me, honey.
Okay, so with that being said, I guess that's a wrap for the interview, and I really appreciate your time and you sharing your journey with us, and I hope to follow up with you in the near future.
Okay. All right. Don't be a stranger.
I definitely won't. Thank you.
Okay. God bless. Bye-bye.